All right, welcome back. It is the Vegas Take, Sharp and Shapiro. Glad you could join us. We'll get to more of your phone calls in just a little bit here. 702-257-5396 is the number to call, but it is Thursday, and you know what that means, JD, right?
Yes.
What does it mean?
TMZ Sports?
Wow. That was a great delivery.
Question mark?
That was amazing. Yes. That means Mike Babcock. I think Mike deserves a better introduction than you just gave him. Yes. TMZ Sports.
JD, man, you didn't sound excited.
Oh, I'm very. I was unsure.
He's unsure. Even though I told him 8 times.
I'm extremely excited. I was just unsure, and I was trying to purposely show how unsure I was.
You're unsure. Sounds like you need some deodorant. Anyway, that is Mike Babcock from TMZ Sports joining us. Mike, how's it going, my man? How you doing?
What's up, Mikey?
I'm doing good, guys. How are you?
All right, doing great. Well, I got to tell you, I want to start with this story because I think Dwight Howard, he is a cancer to a lot of different teams. I think we all could agree on that. He's gotten some people fired. Stan Van Gundy's the first name that comes to mind to me. As you know, the Lakers in La La Land, they have signed him to, I believe, a 1-year deal. Is that correct? Do I have that right?
I believe it's 1 year deal.
Yeah. So him and Shaq have been going back at it for years. In fact, you guys put a video up on TMZ. I remember when the NBA All-Star game was in Las Vegas and they had their practice in Las Vegas. I was actually at that practice when Dwight Howard and Shaquille O'Neal did a little dance-off with one another. Right. And I guess that's sort of when the feud started. I was like 20 feet away from that. I actually thought it was really...
you were there.
Yeah, I was there. I was about 20 feet away from that. That was a lot of fun. Standing right next to me was Dominique Wilkins, and we were both laughing our asses off watching it. I thought it was all in good fun, but I guess that's kind of where the feud started. So tell me what's been going on here over the course of the last week or so. They've been going at it with one another.
Right. Who would have thought in like 10 years now this thing's going and they have an actual dislike for each other. So early in the week, shortly after Dwight Howard signed with the Lakers, we see Shaq out, and we asked him, hey, Shaq, what do you think about the Dwight Howard signing? And he said, who? Our cameraman didn't understand. He thought Shaq didn't hear, so he asked the question again, and Shaq again says, who? Then our TMZ camera guy understands. But it was just Shaq's latest way of throwing some shade at Dwight, and then Dwight did no response, so all was quiet until just recently here now. He essentially said that it's beef with Shaq. It's not going to help me. My only focus is playing basketball and trying to help the Lakers win some games. So Dwight didn't take the bait. He didn't fire back at Shaq. But it's funny. It's weird to see Shaq still have these feelings of dislike and disdain for Dwight Howard after all these years, after being retired now for how long, but he still doesn't like him.
I think what we need to do is we need to start a reality show with Dwight Howard and Dennis Rodman. We'll call it the 2 drama queens. I think that's what we need to do, and I think Dwight would probably make a lot of money off of that reality show because I think that is exactly what he is. He's a drama queen.
Yeah, we'll call it 6'9" and very sensitive.
Fine, fair enough. Okay, JD, go ahead. You got a question for Mr. Babcock. Go ahead, JD.
So Jessi Combs just passed away a few days ago or yesterday. She was trying to break the land speed record. Tell us about this story. Who is Jessi Combs? Why is she trying to travel 600 miles an hour? In a desert or in a flat plain in Oregon. Tell us more about this.
Yeah, it's 2 days ago. She was trying to break the land speed record, go about 500 miles an hour, while staying on the ground, and she crashed and she died. And it wasn't just her affinity for racing. She was on MythBusters for about a season or so. So she's somebody who had appeared on television, but she hit 483 miles an hour and then crashed. And when you're going that fast, if something goes wrong, you're in trouble. And unfortunately, she passed away as a result of the crash.
Very sad.
And she posted a picture on her Instagram, I think maybe a day or two before this happened. And she said, everybody calls me crazy. And she said, you're right. I like my crazy, or something along those lines. And then this takes place. That seems to happen a lot. And she was definitely a familiar face in that space. Anyone who follows that stuff would know who she was.
Mm-hmm.
Right. Absolutely. Yeah. I think she was really talented at what she did. But it's like
very
you said,
sad.
You're going almost 500 miles an hour. If one small thing goes wrong, you're in big trouble. And unfortunately, she passed away. And I know it is eerie then to see her talk about, kind of people saying to her, this is dangerous, you shouldn't do this, and her openly accept that and kind of say, I know that this is dangerous, but this is what I like to do. And then she passes away a day or two later.
Very, very sad. Very sad.
Well, it's really hard to feel bad for somebody like that because they are totally assuming the risk.
Yeah, we've talked about that before.
Right.
Very sad, very unfortunate. Right. All right, let's move on here. If you're just joining us, Mike Babcock from TMZ Sports. Okay, so JD, you're a big Rocky fan, right? So am I. I love those movies. I think they're awesome. I've always loved the Rocky movies. JD, is that a no? Do you like the?
Yeah, of course I like Rocky.
I haven't ran into too many people. I don't know. You didn't answer me, so I assumed it was a no. I don't know, but I think a lot of people out there are huge Rocky fans and great movies. So this is crazy. If you were hanging out at Venice Beach at a local gym there, you saw Ivan Drago and Apollo Creed run into each other. Was this just by chance?
Yes.
That's crazy.
Right, because Venice Beach is, I don't know if everyone's familiar with California, that it's Muscle Beach, there's Gold's Gym is there, and there's just a lot of celebrities and a lot of those old-time guys hang out around there. And to see the two of them together, just so cool, kind of face-to-face, it brings you back to the Rocky movies. And, they're not planned. It's just something that organically happened, that they just both happened to be there.
I wonder what they say to one another. Hey, man, how's it going?
No. We were talking about who would win if they really fought today, and it was really cool to see them face to face. That is
really cool.
So would Brian Shapiro or BJ Penn win in a street fight? Who do you think would win that?
Brian. I watched BJ Penn get knocked out by some regular dude.
I'm at least minus 150. I'm a dirty fighter.
Yeah, it's crazy because I'm sure you guys saw we have two videos from essentially the same incident, and the first video was BJ, mounting the guy, and he's raining down these punches on this guy's head, and you say, BJ got in another fight, and he got in one in June. He won that fight in the street, and now he won this one here in August. But then we get this other video, and BJ just takes a two-piece right to the face, and one just knocks him out, sends him flying to the concrete. And I talked to the guy who actually punched BJ. He said he used to fight back in the day, but this guy's just a regular average Joe. He's not a fighter. And he said that BJ just can't handle his alcohol, and they're friends, or at least acquaintances, and they got to fighting. And he said when you saw BJ on top of him in the other video, it's because BJ basically tackled him when he wasn't looking and started punching him in the head after he'd recovered from getting knocked out on the street.
Sounds like the little Bow Wow situation where he pretended to be on a private jet and he was flying business class on an airline.
That was hysterical. Then they had the Bow Wow challenge. That was great. I love the internet.
Liam Hendricks, he's a relief pitcher for the A's. He throws about 99. I mean, he's a pretty dang good relief pitcher. I'm a big fan of him. But he says that the Golden State Warriors treated the Oakland A's and his team like crap.
Yeah, right. We know that the Warriors are moving now. They used to be right across the street there in Oakland, and he's not crying over the Warriors moving to San Francisco. He said, right, they just like you said, Diddy, the A's and he specifically were treated like crap. The Warriors did not take care of the Oakland A's players, and he could not care less that they are now across the street from the Giants now. It's the new stadium right across the street from where the San Francisco Giants play, but he doesn't care. Not worried, not crying over it.
Well, Mr. Babcock, we always appreciate it when you take some time to join us. What do you got going on this weekend, by the way?
Man, so we have a 4-day weekend, so I don't know. I got to do something. I'm thinking about taking
a 4-day weekend. So you're not even working tomorrow?
Harvey gave us off tomorrow.
He can afford it. He can afford it. He's got enough money.
He'll be does he ever throw like major company parties at one of his 7 mansions or anything? Does that ever happen?
not at his house, but we do have some parties here and there. We just had one a couple weeks ago on this nice beach area in Santa Monica, and drinks and food and all that.
So it's kind of like you've seen Wolf of Wall Street. So it's kind of like Leonardo DiCaprio and the Wolf of Wall Street party, where Jonah Hill's there and everybody else.
I don't know if it's that crazy.
Right. I mean, yeah. In from the standpoint of the parties, yes, but I think that's where the similarities.
So what you're trying to say is Harvey's not snorting cocaine off of a hooker. Is that okay?
I believe it was Quaaludes.
I don't think so.
All right, fair enough. Mr. Babcock, yeah, that's what we want to do. We want to get him in trouble. Talk about his boss. All right, Mike. Mike, enjoy your 4-day weekend, my friend. Well deserved. We appreciate it. We will catch you next week, okay?
Thanks, guys. We'll talk then.
I appreciate it. All right, we're going to take a quick break. When we come back, this is a wild and crazy story. An ex-Denver inmate is suing the city suing A City for forcing her to give birth alone in a jail cell. This is wild. It's nuts. We'll take a break. We'll come back. We'll bring that story to you. You're listening to The Vegas Take on the all-new 101.5 FM, 720 AM, KDON.